Hello and welcome back everyone for game number 2 between two very, as you can see from the scoreboard, DOaHTOMario did take the first game. And very cool. It does look like Mario is in fact going to have a second child, and it is a boy. Exactly. Teach him SC2, says Sour Gecko. But in the bottom right hand corner of Akalon Waste, and in the top left, we're going to have the winner of the first game. DOaHTOMario as our green Terran. Saying his daughter already watches intensely. Probably doesn't play. I'm assuming he's not old, or she's not even old enough. Yeah, she's 1 year, few months. Yeah, probably not old enough to get started in the SC2 scene. So, TBZ. Been a pretty interesting match. Been Heart of the Swarm so far. Still the typical 15 hatch, 15 pool. You typically get your gas a little bit earlier than like the 36 double gas that you would in Wings of Liberty. Mech play has been quite more standard in Heart of the Swarm, as we saw from the last game. A lot of Widow Mines, Hellbats, then some Thor tank action. But Hellbats have been a really good mineral dump. Another proxy racks coming out for Mario. It's never too early to train for MLG. Sargecko says. And I do believe that this will get spotted? No?
SCV ready.
Yes, it does in fact get spotted, so not really a very effective proxy rack. Probably should have just moved it like right here or right on the other side. He does say, you and your Reapers. Very aware of what is going to be happening. But hey, if it works, as he says, good opener, it works. Not really sure how I feel about the two racks Reaper. That is a very good question as well. Close wall. Okay. So again, these Reapers are just going to sit here and be annoying. Spinecrawler is started, and I do believe that that is just outside the range of the bunker. Does look like this Zergling's barely going to have time to save this Spinecrawler. Oh my god, this is going to be so close. Spinecrawler canceled and then re-put down, but now with these Zerglings here, he can definitely get away with it, as well as the Queen. Oh, phew. And I do wonder, I don't think that the combat heals or combat drugs, I think that they should probably rename that. Yes, it does not in fact take place in the bunker. It's very good. It would be kind of like them healing in the medvac, although I never really understood why they don't heal in the medvac. That doesn't make sense to me. If you're outside of the medvac, you can... Oh, they do in fact heal inside of the bunker. That's a questionable decision. You should probably pull some of these drones, as he's slightly oversaturated here, but we do see CC coming down. I would have liked to see just a couple links to try and get up in here and really just do some annoying stuff here. Armory coming down, so he's going to be moving into the Hellbats factory as well. Proxy starport, proxy factory. Mario really showing some crazy play. He already has a Widow Mine here to make sure that anything that moves out does in fact die a painful death. Does look like with this proxy factory, he is in fact going to be just flooding in all sorts of Hellions and then switching them out. He has freaking buildings all over the place. Medvac coming out as well, so it will be able to heal these, and this is going to be a very nice 2-base contain out of Mario. Going to throw down a bunker probably for these Reapers. I do like this double cliff wall because you have to actually jump up here and then up here to get into the main. And SourGekko is now feeling the annoyance that a lot of Zerg players are. It is so easy to contain as a Terran player now. With these Widow Mines, it's very effective. As we can see, that almost one-shots a queen. Transfuse does have to go down, but with so many queens out here, I'm not sure that that's even going to matter, to be honest. Just need to pay attention to these Hellbats. Is going to be bringing them up into the main. There is a spine collar there, though. Oh no, and dropping them right on top of the drones. So many drones getting roasted to death. That is not good. Take a look at the workers killed. Yes, those paid for themselves. I know that he lost a medvac and all of that, but I don't know. I feel like it's still very, very much worth it. Would love to see a reactor go down. Really try to start pumping out these Widow Mines and Hellions. Second base is up. If we take a look at the units tab, workers, he's extremely far behind. He's going to have to do a lot more killing to make sure that it's worth it, but +1/1 is coming out for any sort of ground vehicles. eBay on the way, just in case he wants to move into a little bit of bio play, I assume. And it does look like, in fact, Mass Queen is going to be preferable in Heart of the Swarm. He's asking if the starport was proxied as well. Yes, he does not lie this time around. Another Reaper Hellbat drop coming in here. Feel like this could do quite a bit of damage. Oh no, but this medvac is lost again. Not good. Reaper's going to be going up into the main, but with a spine crawler and a queen here, should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Does pick off 2 of the 3 drones mining gas. Moving into a third base, Burrow coming down as well. Making sure that he gets all sorts of detection and safety up here at the front wall. This starport still has not been found out. In fact, he did just lift this factory up onto the high ground. This Overlord should in fact spot this though now. Yes, he does, so he knows where this is, which could be detrimental to Mario, as now he can just start moving up the queens, and on his way up he is definitely going to see this factory. Scouting barracks coming out. Planetary on the way for the third. I do like this call, especially since he has not busted down these rocks yet. It's going to be very hard to defend as you have to run around this entire little loop. Fourth base on the way, and it does look like he's going to try and proxy some sort of like marauders here on top of this base, but that's not going to be possible. Working on the rocks. Very good idea. Viking scouting out for any sort of Overlord shenanigans. Does look like he's going to be preparing another Hellbat drop here. But with so many queens out, a decent amount of static defense doesn't really look like it's going to matter, to be honest. Roaches now are also on the way. Pneumatized Carapace. Drilling Claws. This is something that he has been favoring quite a lot from the games that I have seen of him. 2-4 vehicle coming down. Does spot this factory now as the creep is on top of it. These Hellbats trying to do some damage here. 4 Hellbats do take 1 queen quite easily. And wow, they're still doing a lot of damage here. Very surprising. You do see quite a few workers have been killed by Mario, but he's still behind. Yes, with the 4 mules, his income is actually a little bit better right now, but you have to factor in the fact that those mules do go away, plus he's going to have to use some scans, all sorts of stuff, so it's not going to be there all the time. Plus now it is 4 base versus 3 base. A SimCity supply depot wall coming up, making sure he does not get supply blocked anytime in the future. And we do see 6 factories in total. No, excuse me. Meant to say 8 factories in total. So this is going to be straight Hellbat tank Widow Mine. Very cool. Love to see this new mech play coming out. We do see Enduring Locusts coming out. Nidus Network. I did cast a game where TLO used the Nidus Network along with the Locusts and the Swarm Hosts, excuse me. Did something basically where like you just drop a Nidus right here, you plant them right here, you take down these rocks, and then it's very, very, very hard to engage. You can just sort of flood in Locusts here. Make sure that you have a couple units right here. It does look like we're going to see a planetary wall being started, plus 3 vehicle weapons on the way. That is going to make these units retarded strong. Honestly, not sure how much damage the Widow Mines do with upgrades. You can't actually even check when they are not burrowed. So, poor factory gonna go down here fairly soon. Tons of creep spread coming out. Swarm hosts now being rallied forward. This is what you need to do versus mech. You just need to slowly whittle down your opponents. And yes, he's not going to be doing like a ton of damage, but now he has the Nidus Network. These roaches up front just to make sure that nothing tries to get around them. We'd like to see this Overseer brought up a little bit more, as there's really no anti-air, and that way he could start to pick off these spider mines, but they do in fact get themselves killed. Queen's here to start spreading creep like bosses. Slowly picking away at the defense. He does in fact, like right there, great trade. He used all 3 locusts and gets 3 Hellbats out of it. At this point though, yeah, with so many siege tanks and all of these Widow Mines, there's no way that these locusts are going to pretty much do anything. He's going to need to have a substantially larger amount. He does notice the lack of air, anti-air, excuse me. So he is in fact going to go Spire, and this is something that I've been experimenting with in my games versus Terran as a Zerg player, where basically you can get, like, Swarm Hosts start to put on some pressure, you figure out your army comp from your opponent, and if, like, they're lacking in air, I mean, there's 1 turret here. If you get a decent amount of mutas, that base is dead. Now going to be pushing up, and going to be burrowing these Widow Mines, probably dropping a scan as well. Queens exploding everywhere. He's still going to need to scan to figure out what is going on up here. Yes, he does in fact. Tons of damage coming out. Mario pushing back the Swarm Hosts of xOxOSourgeckoZ for now. Does he have another scan though? Yes, he is in fact going to use it, but as we can see, the Swarm Hosts just whittling them away so quickly. In fact, it's just going to be making another Nidus Network here. Would love to see it like over here, but there is a sensor tower, so it's going to be pretty obvious when that's happening. Now we see a huge move out. All sorts of creep being cleaned up. These Swarm Hosts are being mobilized back into the spot that they were. Oh no, Overseer, don't get killed. Just outside. Oh no, it's not outside the range. Going to be losing a couple of tanks here. That is no good. He's going to need to get an overseer over there, or... And yes, in fact, he does. These locusts just slowly hitting... Oh my gosh, and a huge mech force moving out here, about to hit the 4th base. But with all these swarm hosts burrowed here, these locusts are about to do a crap ton of damage. Roach is coming in as well, and he's even microing these locusts. Very, very cool. Almost all the Hellbats dying, though, did lose a considerable amount of tanks, and with so many swarm hosts out, you have so many free units, it just doesn't matter. And as we can see, those Hellbats falling, and even if they get up in here and start doing a damage to a couple of these, it's already worth his while. But so many siege tanks being moved out. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely crazy. This is not a style of TVZ that we are used to, and it is in fact going to just start stutter stepping forward these tanks, making sure that he can put on the pressure. Is going to need to siege up here very soon. Great siege coming out, and yes, these roaches are going to get obliterated. There is +3/3 on these tanks, just destroying everything so quickly. xOxOSourgeckoZ really needs to start making that muta transition, as there is pretty much nothing to deal with it. A lot of these tanks do go down to the locusts, but he's going to need to make sure that he has something else. These locusts can be cleaned up pretty effectively if you get on top of them. Very cool. Eliminating any sort of locust reinforcements, but I'm not sure that the tanks are going to be able to live for the next anyways. Oh, but he does snipe down the hatchery. Very nice play. These swarm hosts are getting to the point where there are so many, it's silly. 7, and yes, I will repeat that, 7 starports coming down. Tanks all over the map, doing tons of damage. Hellbat drops up here as well, just killing off absolutely everything. A kind of secret 5th base coming out. It does look like he's going to be engaging the main army of swarm hosts here. These locusts just destroy everything, even with only 2-2 versus 3-3. It does not matter. It does look like he's going to be switching into mass Hellbat mode. And man, these mech units on 3-3 are so strong. It is crazy. Clearing up creep. xOxOSourgeckoZ is being pushed back quite hard. I'm not sure how he's going to deal with this. I still do think that he should have gotten mutas. He has the Spire. He's had it for quite a long time. And folks, here we go. Fusion Core online. Could see battle cruisers. Banshees being pumped out like crazy. This is a very, very, very good call. More swarm hosts. Again, I'm just not really too excited about more swarm hosts, to be honest. I don't feel that at this point in the game they're really that feasible. You need to be switching some sort of tech out here, but we do see a lot of locusts coming in here, and they take down this planetary quite quickly. In fact, holy crap. So that base does go down. We do see a ton of Hellions roasting everything here. They do not have Infernal pre-igniters, but he takes out this Nidus Swarm, which he will in fact be able to do. That's going to limit the mobility significantly of these swarm hosts. But now it is 4 bases on 4 bases. These guys are still doing so much damage, but there's no drones left up here to roast. There's also nothing coming back to attack these. And now with this many Hellbats, oh my god, these roaches are about to fall so quickly. More roaches coming in though, and that is very good news. Actually didn't even lose any of these drones. Should probably just transfer them down there. These swarm hosts just figuring out where everything is and really going to start putting on a ton of aggression here. This is very, very cool. These Banshees could do quite a lot, but Corruptor's on the way now to deal with them, so it doesn't even matter. This planetary is going to fall, more than likely along with this second planetary. Yes, these Banshees are going to help with the DPS. They're just going to move up here and just say, well, whatever. He's going to need to take out these missile turrets as there is detection. Banshees coming up here to snipe the 5th. And, oh my god, Hellions doing a run by now as well, trying to catch these Swarm Horse when they're unburrowed. Oh no, and if he lands a scan, these Swarm Hosts are going to start taking so much damage, but the Locusts are here as well to do a great amount themselves. Banshee's still up here, now getting picked off by the Corruptors. Tons of Roaches coming in for reinforcements, as well as Corruptors to fight off these Banshees. And this Overseer does need to get pulled back, or he's not going to be able to kill these Banshees off. The Swarm Hosts running for their lives. The Corruptors do, in fact, gauge very quickly. Tons of Roaches coming back. Can't, in fact, attack into this planetary. Vikings being put out. 2 battle cruisers on the way. Durable materials as well. Oh my gosh, so many upgrades that we do not get to see every day, guys. This is what makes Heart of the Swarm absolutely awesome. Very, very, very cool game so far. And now with this Roach aggression and the Swarm Hosts, there's not really anything on the ground to deal with these very effectively. These Roaches should be able to pick off these Widow Mines just before they burrow. Oh, and no, only 1 going down, 2 going down. Still getting a lot of it wasted on those Locusts. And now Corruptors coming in. This is going to be very problematic. He does have the air battle cruisers online, folks. And even with corruption, all of this anti-air coming out, I'm just not sure that it's going to be enough, to be honest. He's going to need, yes, Thor's in fact making the switch, but they're just going to get trounced by these Swarmhost armies. So it does look like Swarmhost Roach Corruptor is in fact extremely effective versus Terran. These Locusts now pushing up into the main, killing off so many SCVs, and xOxOSourgeckoZ might have come back after thwarting all of this aggression from DOaHTOMario. This is a sick, sick game 2 in this best of 3. And now another base trying to be established up here in the top, well, I guess center top. He does pick up on this though, and now Roaches for the counterattack. Swarm Host being repositioned, and DOaHTOMario is in fact mined out at all of his bases. We'll check the income tab. Well, it's hilariously low, to be honest. It was good because of this base, but these Cloaked Banshees now coming in here to snipe off this 4th again. The econ for both of these players is so low. It is absolutely crazy. Couple Roaches making sure that no expansion goes down there as well. A ton of Thors, and it does look like they are an explosive payload. This allows Javelin missiles to be launched and doing a ton of damage to air. Swarm Hosts just keep repositioning though, and he does need to get a couple Corruptors, and this army comp from xOxOSourgeckoZ is so much better than this one of 6 Thors and a couple Vikings from DOaHTOMario. It does look like really trying to get out those Ravens now. Hunter Seeker missiles could in fact be the difference here. He's going to need to throw down PDDs, and corruption is cast on this. A Hunter Seeker missile does fizzle out. Very cool physics engine. In fact, even falls through the cracks. Now these Swarm Hosts just continuing to put on so much pressure. This is absolutely crazy. He's trying to build up one last mega efficient army, but with these Swarm Hosts here late game, they just constantly keep your enemy in check. He's going to need to take out this base, as it is very crucial for Mario. Does look like he is aware of this and is in fact going to be, but I hear a bunch of Hunter Seeker missiles coming down, and he does pick out the 2 Corruptors, and this Corruptor survives with 1 HP. But now a ton of anti-air going down. These Swarm Hosts and Roaches just picking off these Thors. Corruption should be cast, and now down to 1 Thor. Mario at 1. at 69 supply of 124 versus the 127 of XOxOSourgeckoZ. And this looks like it could be the end, folks, and of a absolutely sick game. Workers going down, Locust pushing up in it to the main, and it looks like Mario is more than likely just letting this sink in, thinking about what he possibly could have done differently. Long distance mining, still not a very good amount of income, but as we can see, Mario not mining, in fact, at all. Just this one gas with one worker in it. Hell of a game, folks. Absolutely amazing. Both players going all out here. And we should see the tap out from Mario here any moment now. Does look like he's just checking to see if there is still, in fact, an economy for his enemy. And now he must know, yes, there is. This base still up, though, and is going to try and move over here, but there is creep spread. Not good at all. He's going to be lucky to even be able to get these SCVs out of here. And everything falling for Mario, and as I said, folks, it is just a matter of time before this game is going to, in fact, have to be called. Not a terrible amount left that Mario can really do. The production tab very lackluster at this point, and GG does get called from Mario. An amazing 37-minute game, guys. Please watch the whole thing. That was absolutely crazy. Second game in this best of 3, so that does mean that we are going to be going to